Lydia Didal, Fight Connect TV backstage after a very successful Cage Warriors Academy Belfast with a successful coach tonight because the lad's done well. Myles Price, how you feeling?
Hey, how's it going, Lydia? Great to be here again, would you? Yeah, I feel great. It was a fantastic show, I have to say. And Owen didn't really switch it on tonight. He did a good job, but that's not Owen's full potential. He mentally didn't switch it on tonight, and he didn't follow through with the game plan. I think the event kind of got to him a little bit. Owen has a lot more to show down the line. That's all I'll say. And I'd like to. I think me being away as well over in AK, I only got a couple of weeks work with him when I got back, so I'd like to really work on these holes in his game and work the psychological side of things, maybe with our sports psychologist also, Richard Shannon, about fighting main event slots, because he puts a lot of pressure on himself, and sometimes talented young athletes tend to fold under their own pressure.
Yeah. Do you feel a little bit of pressure or a little bit of responsibility? Like you said, you're his coach and you're away, you're at the peak of your career now as well. But you have guys that are coming up through the ranks and they're also getting opportunities like Owen for title fights.
Yeah, of course there's pressure on me. When Owen fights, I fight in some way, Like any coach I think would tell you that. We're very empathic to our students, and of course I felt like there was a piece of me that lost there tonight, and I think though Owen's the type of athlete that he'll go back to the drawing board, he'll take in what he needs to do and move on from, and he's very good, he's very coachable also, so he'll move on from this for sure, and we'll work together for the longer goal. It's not like at the end of the day you lose a fight in some hall somewhere up the north or wherever it is, like there's bigger fish to fry, things move on, people forget about these things, and he'll learn from it. It'll be a bitter pill to swallow, but he'll learn and he'll move on and it'll be the next show.
And it will be bitter because of Owen. We've had him on the show a couple of times and he's so serious about what he does and he's so serious about being an athlete. And he's fighting amateur, but really he's a professional athlete, right?
He is a professional athlete in his mind, yeah, he is. And that's the type of athletes that you want, young lads that really do think as professional athletes. And no one does think like that, It's just a process that you go through. I struggled with that myself earlier on in my career. I had a lot of losses down to being too hard on myself and letting the moment of the fights kind of like take their toll on me. Like I was losing it myself more so than just seeing it for what it was and just letting the flow happen in competition, And it's good that it's happening to him in amateur. He'll learn from this and he'll move on.
That's an interesting point that you've just made there. There'll be a lot of younger kids that will be watching this interview now and will go, what did you do to change that? Like, what was the process in noticing that and then rectifying it?
Well, one for me was externally doing something about it. Like, one is like you have to realise that you have competition jitters and you're being too hard on yourself, and then you need to go out and be brave enough to ask somebody for help. So I went out and I looked for a sports psychologist, and I got somebody to work for me, and we worked to find out why I was feeling like that in competition night, why I was folding under pressure, why I wasn't performing to my full capabilities, and then we broke that down to the foundations and just built up from there again, and it really is come down to being brave enough to do something about it, not neglecting it all the time,
Do you feel like you're, after hitting a point in your own career that, it's kind of the sweet spot, you're like, everything that I've been working towards all these years is kind of coming together and I'm in this really good place now and the opportunity is kind of mine to just, take aim and go for it and get yourself that legacy that you've no doubt always wanted?
Yeah, for sure. Legacy is one thing, but I feel like that legacy is an external thing, I feel like, to prove yourself to other people, but I'm only really in this to prove stuff to myself, so wherever my career takes me, wherever the stopping point may be, it'll be my own legacy for myself, it won't be for anybody else. I don't care where it goes. Obviously I want the best fights for myself, I want to get to the best places and as far as I can for me, but I'll be content when that road ends also, It's also knowing that when the road ends, to drop the gloves and go, I'm happy that I gave it everything I had, and to know when to leave it at that, I think the biggest struggle with professional athletes, in particular fighters, is they tend to not know when to drop the gloves because they constantly don't know when. They forget that they did this because they loved it, instead of trying to prove something to everybody and for a legacy outside of themselves.
Do you feel like that's in the responsibility, it's in the hands of the fighter themselves, or should it be the people that are around them, like coaches or teammates, that say, look, you're not performing as well as you used to, and we're concerned about you, or let's just hang up the gloves now and go into a different direction?
I think that the coaches need to say that, of course, but I also think you can only give advice to people that want to take it. So, you know, it does come down to the individual also. It's a bit of tit for tat there, really, you know.
So let's talk about your next fight. You're not retiring yet anyway. No time yet.
I don't think so, anyway.
Just in case anyone watching is like, oh my God, is Myles retiring? No, not at all. Talk about your next fight.
We're in the works of talking about November. Yep. Not sure what card. Obviously, I know it's Bellator, but I'll have an opponent sorted for late November, I think. So. Was
there a reason that you weren't on the Dublin cards, the one in 2 or 3 weeks?
I just got offered. Bellator looking after me very well, but I think personally, for me, I got offered fights that didn't make very much sense. You know, I was co-main event of the last show. I won my last fight, and I was being asked to fight like kind of silly lose fights for me, and on the prelims, you know, it just didn't make much sense for me, like, you know. And it's more so I don't even mind fighting in the prelims in a big show like in, you know, abroad or something like that, you know, because it's not in my home country. It's like one of those things that it doesn't make sense to co-main event an Irish show and then go down to the prelims on an Irish show when you won, you know.
I agree. And also for both of you, for Myles and for Peter, or for you and for Peter, after that fight, you know, there was really good press, whether it be like, you know, the banter or whatever was happening, there was really good press around it, so it would make sense for both of you guys to get a good position in the show going forward, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that he's spoken out recently in the press saying, you know, I won that fight and different things, and I know that I don't like to get into the whole, you know, Fight Connect TV isn't the kind of exclusive Myles Price says whatever, but you've obviously heard that, and I know that you don't really buy into the whole kind of social media thing and you like to keep your head down, but does it frustrate you knowing that, you know, you won and then your opponent is saying that he won?
No, I think that's more of a reflection on Peter, to be honest with you, that he has a lot of demons and they're not my demons, so why should I be frustrated about what his delusional thoughts are? They are delusional. He lost the fight, you know, and anybody that's in the game knows that he lost the fight. You can't go by a Bellator voting system that a lot of SBG are a very popular team. They have a lot of popular fighters, so obviously they're going to have a lot of fans that are going to vote for them to kind of boost them up to say you did win that fight, even though. And there are a lot of people that aren't in the know of the voters either about like how scoring is done. So I know that I won the fight 110%. So it's not anything to do with like. I think Peter's still a great fighter, and I think he deserves the fight that he has. So, you know, all the best to him.
Absolutely. And before I let you go, we're getting taken over here. The place is filling up, but obviously you're just back from AKA. The relationship that you have with Javier, with the team over there, is absolutely fantastic to see, because I think all of your fans and all the people that are fans of the Team RYANO brand and for yourself are loving seeing it go from strength to strength and seeing you in more videos and starting to become really part of the family that's over there.
Yeah, I was talking to Noel about it there, the MC earlier about it, and he was asking about it, and all I can say is that it's a very humbling experience and I'm very proud to say that I was a big part of the team. And Javier has welcomed me into the team like that, you know what I mean? And I got to spar all them high-level guys, and I got the opportunity as well to teach there, which was just an amazing opportunity for me. And I really do consider them like my family now. It's my home away from home, and they're as close to me as they are from my team here, you know. And it'll feel weird not going back every year.
What do you think it was? I mean, obviously, like, people go there, they train and they get on really well, but you seem to have been really taken in by them. I mean, like, we saw Khabib in, like, you know, Kenny jersey.
I know.
Like,
that was mad.
You know, like,
great.
Insane. Like, we got that photo sent to me, and I was like, that has to be photoshopped. And I was like, no way. Like, stuff like that, you know. What do you think it is? Because I know you're a good guy, you know, and you're a pleasure to be around. Is that what it is? They're like, you work hard, you're dedicated, you want to improve, and they appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that's just it, to be honest with you. I don't go in there with any. I didn't go to AK at the start with any expectations, only to become better and to be friendly with people around me, you know. And the same this time around. And I just think that. See you, Dino. Great to see you. And I just think that. I don't know. I just got on well with everyone, to be honest with you, you know. And I think they were just drawn to the fact that I wasn't there for any other reason. There just to be friends, make new friends, and to train hard. And when you have that kind of simple mindset towards martial arts, that's why you fall in love with it in the first place, you know, to be part of something, make friends, and, you know, just learn, become a better martial artist. So And I suppose the Irish bit of banter is a bit of crack too. It's addictive to be around, I suppose.
And like, listen, a video went up there last week of you sparring Khabib. Like, I mean, even to be given that opportunity, like when he's at the, I mean, that he is the talking point of the entire game at the moment. Do you know what I mean? And here's Myles from Kilkenny in there. You know, like it's just amazing to see. Like, fair play to you. It's brilliant to see.
Yeah, it was an amazing opportunity to get in. And Khabib is such a nice guy. I consider him a good friend, and he's very, very humble. He's always there trying to help you out. He's always there trying to push you. And yeah, it's just that brotherhood he has with himself and the team at AK, and obviously his Dagestani brothers too. And I feel like I've become a small part of that, and it's an honour. So.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait until he comes to Kilkenny. I'll be down with the camera.
Yes, lads, imagine he'd be out hurling out the fields, what? Imagine.
Down on the what's that? Down in Langton's for a pint of Guinness.
Oh my God, aiming to have a cardiac arrest, the owner, what?
We'll do it. I want that to happen.
Okay.
I want that to
we'll
happen.
Go for a point together the same night.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, listen, congratulations on all your successes, and I can't wait to see you back out again.
Well, thank you
no
very
matter
much,
where it
Lydia.
is, wherever you end up, we'll follow you, and I
of
know our
course.
viewers will as well, because every time I put up anything to do with you, I always get a load of comments, people saying fair play to him, he's bleeding killing the game, like he's really working hard. So
that means so much to me, that support, and from yourself, Lydia. You've always been such an advocate supporter of me and my journey, and for MMA in general. We don't know where we'd be without you, and that's 100%, and that's facts.
thank you, Myles Price. You're an absolute diamond. Myles Price for Fight Connect TV.